Well, during his speech in Cedar Rapids last night, the president called for all immigrants coming to this country to be barred from receiving welfare benefits for 5 years.
That's why I believe the time has come for new immigration rules, which say that those seeking admission into our country must be able to support themselves financially and should not use welfare for a period of at least 5 years.
Well, the usual suspects were shocked by that, of course, but what the president called for isn't a radical innovation. In fact, it aligns him perfectly with the policies of Clinton, Bill Clinton, that is. A 1996 federal law already bars immigrants from drawing welfare benefits for 5 years, but the Bush and Obama administration steadily increased the number of programs exempted from the law. Francisco Hernandez is an immigration attorney in the state of Texas, and he joins us tonight. So, Francisco, the argument in favor of immigration is that immigrants make the country better, they make it richer, they bring jobs. You can't simultaneously argue that and the United States has some obligation to give welfare to people it's never met before. Can you?
Well, Mr. Carlson, thank you for having me. But, you know, quite frankly, the misconception is that undocumented immigrants are receiving welfare. They are not. OK, that's just plain not true. Now, President Clinton did, in a hypocritical move, to get himself reelected, passed this 1996 statute. But the month after it was passed by executive order, he reversed it. OK, but there have been two presidents, Republican Obama, quite frankly, that have not reversed the executive order. But that's the law. President Trump is not doing anything that's not already within the law.
This is a verbal Vesuvius here. Let's back up a tiny bit. First of all, immigrants, legal and illegal, receive a whole host of welfare benefits from the U.S. government, including Medicaid.
Do not.
Yes, they do, actually. Yet
they don't receive Medicaid. They don't receive.
Actually, have you ever heard of emergency Medicaid?
It's not true.
It pays for. Actually, you're wrong. It pays for almost 100% of the emergency room.
No,
oh, it's true. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to debate a fact that I know to be certain with you and you don't know. Oh, no, there is a special fund, a federal fund, to pay those bills, and they go almost exclusively to illegal aliens. But
no, they
that's
don't.
not what the president was talking about.
Threatening.
That's
not what we're talking about. You're right.
All right. The president last night said immigrants shouldn't be getting federal benefits for 5 years. And I'm wondering, how is there an argument against that? How can you say to people around the world, come here and we'll pay you welfare benefits? That's kind of the opposite of what we would want, isn't it?
Well, if they're paying taxes, you know, there are a lot of U.S. citizens receiving welfare that don't pay any taxes. The question is, are they paying their ticket on the bus? If they're paying their fair share, there's nothing wrong with it. That's what we sign up for. But undocumented immigrants do not receive any.
So people come. Look, you just don't know what you're talking about. There's a fund called Emergency Medicaid. It's $2 billion a year, and it goes almost exclusively to illegal aliens. There's not an argument. It's actually been established, and you're making me frustrated because I know what I'm talking about and you don't. But that's not the point of this conversation.
Well, then I shouldn't frustrate you.
The point is, why would you invite people to this country?
We're not.
And then put them on welfare? Isn't the whole idea that people come here and they add to the society? You don't want to import people who are already dependent. Why would you do that?
We don't, Mr. Carlson. But you know what? What happened to the wall? This is a detraction from the wall. Undocumented immigrants do not receive Medicaid. It doesn't. If it is life-threatening, that is what the emergency government hospitals are supposed to do.
Whatever. Okay,
you can laugh.
Just ignorant on the subject. Okay, because it's better than getting mad. Let me just ask you the question. This is just too frustrating one last time, which is a philosophical question, and I think an important one. Why would you want to bring people voluntarily to your country? We don't owe them anything. It's a favor we're doing them to allow them to come here. Why would you want to bring people who are immediately dependent on welfare when they get here? Don't you want people who add something immediately to your country? Economically.
You're just down and determined to argue with me. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm telling you, that's the law already. There is no argument, but you just want to disagree with me on something because I proved to you that undocumented immigrants do not receive Medicaid, period. They do not.
Okay. There are two strains here. Undocumented aliens, illegal aliens, do receive the benefits I just described. Legal immigrants receive a panoply of welfare benefits, including food stamps, child care. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things exempted from this law. And the president's saying, you know what? Let's take those exemptions away and say, if you come here as an immigrant, you know, thrive on your own. And I don't know why you would argue against that. And I doubt you do either.
So 21 years have passed, and all of these illegal benefits have been paid out, and nobody has trumped out the warning signs. I mean, come on, Mr. Carlson. This is really a detraction from what we really should be talking about is immigration reform. What Mr. Trump, President Trump
letting
promised.
in more people to go on welfare. You got
Where's
it.
the
We're
wall?
going to put you in charge of it, Francisco. You're being trusted.
Mr. Hannity and I both agreed to meet on the wall and start building the wall on the border. Let's go. You can come with us.
Well, I'll join you. Thank you, Francisco. Appreciate it.